Joseph Patrick Murphy joining us, the best immigration attorney I know. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Marty. Thanks for having me on.
All right, I need your translation. What the hell happened with the gentleman from Oakmont Bakery? How does he get out? Everybody said he wasn't. How's that happen?
Well, so an immigration violation is different than a criminal violation. In a criminal violation, the theory is that the whole civilization has been harmed. That's why it says Commonwealth versus Murphy, or people. In some jurisdictions, the plaintiff is named as people. So once you've been arrested, there has to be a court process. That's not so with immigration. ICE and the prosecutors, the Office of Professional Legal Advisor, both have the authority to engage in what's called prosecutorial discretion. They can just say, okay, and let people out. I spent a good amount of time writing to them before we even get to court, pleading my case. Okay, this guy's got a process going. He's married to an American. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Lately, it doesn't work much at all. I've had situations where the government, I have one right now. I just got a letter back. This person was a victim of crime here. There's special programs for crime victims to get them, to keep them here legally so they can testify and, ultimately help the prosecution arrest whoever hurt them. And I said, this guy's, he's a U visa applicant. Maybe you just let him go. They won't do it. It's got to go to a judge. For whatever reason, in Jimmy's case, the equities thankfully balanced in his favor. There's a lot of people very happy about this result. I think it's a good result. But somebody talked to the prosecution, whether that was his lawyer or the political process, or maybe even just the public pressure. Those things have an effect, and they did this time, and that's a great result.
Because a lot of lawyers said, he's done. He's out of the country. This is unusual? Yeah?
For him, yeah, the prediction, given that, like I said, the people that are the victims of crime that have in juvenile petitions going, things that are normally were untouchable, they're grabbing them and they're saying that's not a status just because you're on. Here's the big change, Marty. Back before this administration, the objective wasn't necessarily to throw as many people out as possible. The objective was to make sure that if you were here, you were at least on a path to getting legal. And that's what we're describing. There even that won't do it now. And Jimmy didn't appear to necessarily be on some sort of guaranteed path. He would have to make an asylum claim and win it. This isn't like a foregone conclusion, like you've been a victim of a crime. So it didn't look so rosy for Jimmy. And at some high level, and we have a lot to thank in our political process for that. But at some high level, I imagine some force was brought to bear on this case.
How does that happen, though? Come on, man. Jose Flores was supposed to be deported to Nicaragua. Mark was upset. Everyone was upset. And now
I don't think Jose, right. So it could be, like you said, the lawyer writing to the prosecution. It could be government officials saying this guy's a constituent. He's important to me. Any number of things. I know that we talked about certain politicians that may have been involved in this. At the end of the day, it's a good result. You can't get that every time. It's an unusual result. You're absolutely right.
Is it possible that a senator or a congressman, because I talked to both of them, can pull strings, sir? And what does that mean, pull strings with ICE?
Sure. All right. So ICE, the Department of Homeland Security, they're parts of the same government. They can ask for consideration and certainly the weight of a U.S. senator or congressman, the types of people that may or may not have been involved in this, and they can take their own credit. I'm not going to give it or take it from them.
Yeah, of course.
But a senator can say, look, this is important to me. We'd like you to not prosecute this guy any further. That would result in prosecutorial discretion. It's not like a criminal. A politician can't call... because the only thing that we know, most of us citizens, about arrest is criminal arrest.
Yes, sir.
That's why the people of Oakmont kept saying Jimmy didn't do any crimes. Why is he being arrested? An immigration arrest is a civil arrest. It's not in the sense that we're not arresting the people to punish them. We're arresting them to expel them. Whatever story they have, let them tell it. And if it's not good enough, expel them. If a politician were to call the district attorney's office and say, release somebody who did a crime, that would be corruption. But in this process, that's actually how it's supposed to work. The political process, it's a uniquely political process, immigration and the practice of immigration law. You called it life in the blender. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
Lawyers are used to systems of precedent, legal systems that are very, very stable. They ruled this way last week. They're going to rule this way next week. In immigration, it's not that way. The rules change and how they're applied change, certainly every 4 years, and sometimes every 4 weeks. We see that here lately. But this one was a good one. It's a feel-good result. I think we're happy about it. As I said before, this could incentivize more people to try and immigrate. And that's the concern. Like so many things, you like it on an individual level, you might not like it on a social level. You could support the death penalty but not want to be executed.
Nice.
You could support gun rights but not want to be shot. These are perfectly, although they're not even really contradictory. One's a social value and one's an individual value. On an individual value, sure, let the guy go. But on a social value, might not have been the best outcome. I can't say one way or another. Only time will tell.
Well, you're behind the scenes all the time, Joseph Patrick Murphy. Has the tenor changed? Has it changed?
Absolutely. As I said, in the old days, and I mean 1 year ago, your guy got arrested. You go to the judge. He's on a path, some sort of path to getting legal. He's married to a citizen. He's got a work sponsorship, victim of crime, informant, something like that. Even in Jimmy's case, they'd give a bail. He's working on something. He's not. There's no real reason to detain him. But that is not the case now. All right. If you're working on something, they'd let you do it. That's in the past. Now it's if you don't already have it, they want to throw you out, and that's a big difference. It's almost like they want to prevent these people from getting legal.
Wow. Joseph Patrick Murphy, the best. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Fascinating.